Hello, welcome to my channel StuckFiles. Today we will discuss about why it sucks to be a defensive specialist. Setting up a thankless role in basketball, they don't put your name on highlight reels. They don't sell your jersey in the team store. And they sure as hell don't call you a superstar. But when the other guy gets hot, when the opposing team's best scorer is cooking, suddenly they turn to you that you're not the leading scorer, that you're not the flashy point guard, or you're the stopper, the glue guy, the one who gets the worst job in the building every single night. Your mission, guard the best player on the court without fouling, without getting tired, without making a single mistake. And if you do all that, nobody notices because defense doesn't trend. You don't get credit for making someone work. You don't get applause for holding someone under their average. You just get tired. And when they score anyway, even if you force a tough shot, you're the one they blame. Being a defensive specialist is like fighting a war with no medals and oh glory and oh thanks. Only expectations and fatigue. Section 1. You're not the star, you're the shield. Every team needs scorers. Every team wants shooters, highlight makers, and guys that get buckets. But you're not there for buckets, that you're there to bleed. You get called in when things go wrong. When the coach yells, he's got 15 already. You're up next. And no time to warm up. No time to stretch. Just run in. And fix it that you're not guarding a role player, that you're guarding the guy. The all-star. The MVP candidate. The one who's on a poster while you're not even the media guide. You fight through IL legal screens. You get elbowed in the ribs. You take charges. And then on offense, you're just standing in the corner. Sometimes the ball doesn't even touch your hands for 5 straight possessions, but your lungs are burning. Your legs are dead. In your matchup, he's still going. You don't get to rest because your value disappears the second you stop trying. Defensive specialists don't just guard. They sacrifice. They give up touches, shots, rhythm, all of it for the team. And if they mess up once, bench. Gone out invisible again. Section 2. Your matchup gets paid. You get blamed. The guy you're guarding, he's making $30 million a year that he gets custom shoes, his own logo, and interviews after every game. You're getting vet minimum. Maybe a 2-way contract. You sit in the shadows while he gets all the lights. But your job is to stop him. That's what's messed up about being a defensive specialist, that you're expected to erase the game's most unstoppable scorers with no margin for error and no praise when you succeed. If you shut him down, yeah, he had an off night. If he cooks you, man, where's the defense? It's a lose-lose situation that he has the freedom to try things. Crossovers, step backs, heat check threes. That if he misses, nobody cares. It's expected. But you, one slip point, one misstep point, one bad close out. And it's your fault. People act like defense is just effort, as if it's something any role player can do. They don't realize the hours of film you study, the footwork drills, the angles, the anticipation, the IQ that you're not just chasing someone, that you're running backward while thinking 2 plays ahead. And what do you get for it? You don't get to celebrate. You don't get Sports Center. You don't even get your teammates dapping you up sometimes, because no body claps for missed shots, especially when they expected to make. But what hurts most, you'll never get paid for it. Teams want defenders, but they don't want to pay for defense. They say they value grit, but hand the max to the guy you just held to 4 of 17 shooting. Every time you walk into the arena, the matchup is unfair, and still you suit up, because defense isn't about stats, it's about pride and pain and putting your body in front of someone else's spotlight. Section 3. No one cheers for a stopper. Let's be honest. Nobody buys a ticket to watch defense. They want to see dunks. They want to see threes from the logo. They want to scream after a crossover, not a contested miss. When a player scores 50 points, they become a legend. When a defensive specialist holds that same player to 14, nobody remembers. No hashtags. No love. You can hear it in the crowd. They cheer when the ball goes in. But when you force a miss, it's silent, like it never happened, because stopping someone doesn't create noise. It removes it. And in the world of basketball, silence doesn't sell. Even your own team forgets you sometimes, that you're not in the huddle for the final shot, that you're not in the marketing posters. You don't get plays drawn up for you. You don't get the mic after the game, but you still go out there and guard the best guy on the floor. Again and again and again, you play 94 feet with your heart. You fight through exhaustion, screens, shoves, and whistles. And most nights, you still lose the box score. Because your job isn't measurable, there's no stat for wore him down, no column for made it difficult, no highlight for was annoying all night. You work in the shadows. And sometimes, not even a coach says thank you. You go home, sore, wake up, bruised, and you know the only way to stay on a roster is to make somebody else's life harder. It's the most selfless role on the court and the most unrewarded. But the silence, it chips away at you. You start asking yourself, do they even notice? Would they even care if I was gone? Because every game you show up, every game you sacrifice, and every game they cheer for someone else. Section 4. Defense ages fast. Defense doesn't age well. You're not allowed to slow down. You're not allowed to get tired. You're not allowed to lose half a step. Because when your job is to keep up with the best athletes in the world, the moment you slip, you're finished. A scorer can play into their mid-30s. They can shoot their way into a few more contracts. They can lose a little athleticism and still find ways to score. But a defensive specialist? Once your legs go, you go too. The job isn't just physical, it's relentless. You're sprinting through screens, switching onto guards and forwards, contesting without fouling, talking on every possession, chasing for 24 seconds, then doing it again, and again, and again. And when your knees start barking, when your lateral movement slows just a hair, coaches stop trusting you. They stop calling your number. They start looking for someone younger, hungrier, someone who hasn't been through 600 battles yet. You go from defensive anchor to liability overnight. There's no celebration for your decline, just a quiet fade. One game, you're guarding the best player. The next, you're on the bench. Then, out of the rotation. And the worst part? You don't have stats to protect you. You don't have box scores that say he mattered. You don't have fan support screaming, bring him back. You just have your body breaking down one possession at a time. You spent your prime doing the dirty work. And when you lose your edge, nobody cleans up after you. They say defense is about effort, but they never say what happens when you run out of energy. Section 5. The film never lies. They might forget your stats. They might forget your name. But one thing never lies, the film. Every game you played, every possession you battled, it's all there. The rotations, the contests, the hustle, the communication that nobody in the crowd could hear, but the team felt. The film shows the truth. It shows you sliding into help position before the drive even starts. It shows you tagging rollers, recovering to shooters, talking through switches. It shows you putting your body in places nobody wants to be. The scoreboard might not reflect it. The fans might not see it, but the film catches everything. Your teammates may not always say it, but they know who saved them. They know who did the hard things, the quiet things that led to wins. When they watch film the next day and hit pause, you're the one in the right spot. You're the one sprinting back in transition, that you're the one fighting through the fourth screen of the possession. Even if they never say it out loud, they respect it. They respect you because deep down, everyone in that locker room knows offense gets the fame, but defense gets the respect of those who matter. And you hold on to that. You hold on to the knowing that you played this game with purpose, that you gave everything every night. That while they celebrated the scores, you're the one saving the game. The camera doesn't lie. The edits don't lie. The film keeps your legacy alive. even if nobody's posting it. In a league where everyone's chasing stats, you chase stops. And even if the world didn't notice, the film did. As we deeply discussed everything in all 5 sections. So now you know the truth nobody tells you about being a defensive specialist. The truth is, you'll probably never make an all-star game. You'll never lead the league in jersey sales. You might not even get a guaranteed contract. But what you will have is something most players never earn. Respect. Real, que, unspoken respect. From coaches, from teammates, from opponents. They may not clap for you in the arena. They may not chant your name. But in the locker room, when the game is on the line, they call your number. Because when everything's falling apart, when the star is cooking, when the team needs one last stop, they look down the bench and say, get in, handle it. Not because you're flashy, not because you're famous, but because you're reliable. That's your legacy. You won't be remembered for scoring. You'll be remembered for making someone else stop. You won't go viral. You'll go valuable to the ones who know the game. And that's what they never tell you about being a defensive specialist. Your greatness exists in the shadows. You don't get flowers. You don't get farewell tours. You don't get statues. But when the lights are off and the gym is empty and the box score is printed and forgotten, the real ones, the lifers, the hoopers, they remember. They always remember. Because you didn't play for the crowd. You played for the team. You played for the moment. You played for the game.